instructor for PMP. I'm a certified Lean Six Sigma black belt. I was a certified Safe Agilist. It was a long time ago, and I'm a master trainer. So that was quickly about myself. Like Brijesh mentioned, I have around 21 years of experience in software industry, mostly managing projects. I mean, I spent almost like 15, 16 years in account management, project management, program management, and stuff like that. And I did my PMP certification in 2017. That was my first attempt, and I cracked it with a very high percentage of marks. So that was all about myself. Okay, now let me get back to the actual webinar. So the agenda for this particular webinar will be very simple. First of all, I'll be talking about the exam, what this CAPM is all about. Then I'll take you through the pre-prep course, which is the groundwork that we'll be doing before getting into the preparatory course. And then I'll be talking about the preparatory course. I mean, what are the different contents of the preparatory course? Then I'll talk about the steps or the actions that you guys would be taking after finishing off your preparatory course. And then I'll be sharing some of the tips for cracking the Capm certifications in the first attempt. Believe me, guys, this webinar has been created by my colleague and myself, and we have put in a lot of effort in trying to get to provide you most of the benefits that we have gone through while preparing ourselves for the examinations. So I think this is one of the best things that you would be undergoing for another 30-35 minutes in understanding how to crack the examination, specifically the Capm examination. Now let me begin. So Capm, like I mentioned, it is a certified associate in project management. It is one of the certifications given by PMI or provided by PMI. And this is an entry-level certification program provided by PMI. When I say entry-level certifications in project management, it means that the PMI is not looking for any kind of experience that you'll be having in managing or leading the team or managing or leading the projects. It is just an entry-level certification. Second is it will help you enter into the domain of project management. It is as simple as that once you have this Capm certification, it will provide you a credibility that you understand the lexicon of the project management. It will help you understand the lexicon of the project management. When I talk about lexicon of the project management, you would be able to understand what are the different the process groups that a project lifecycle goes through. What are the different phases a project goes through? What are the different knowledge areas that PMI people have actually created or carved for this Capm certification examination? So these are all the things, or all the benefits that you would be getting after being certified with Capm. So that was a little bit about the Capm. Like I mentioned, the eligibility criteria for appearing for this Capm certification is very simple. You need at least a secondary diploma. That means if you have 12th diploma as we have in India, so you would be you are eligible to apply for Capm certification. There is one more criteria which you need to satisfy before applying for the Capm certification is project management education. So this is 23 contact hours of formal education in project management, and this is the crux of the preparatory course. So this 23 contact hours of formal education, it will help you prepare past the CAPM scope. So these are only two criteria which are required to appear for the Capm certification examinations as provided by PMI. Now moving on, exam fees. I'll briefly touch base upon the membership of PMI, but since I'm into talking about the exam details, and about the examination. So if you are a member of PMI, you need to pay $225 USD. This is so far the least examination fees as for any certifications provided by the PMI. And if you are a non-member, then you will need to shell out $300 USD or 300 USD. So this is about the exam fees, but this investment is quite negligible in terms of understanding the project management domain and getting the Capm certifications. So this is one-time investment, but it will give you benefits which would be like I mean, I can't even count it. So that was about the exam phase. Then exam duration would be like, it would be for 180 minutes, and there would be around 150 questions, and there would not be any break. I will tell you why I mentioned the break part here. Because currently at this point in time, when people go for PMP certification examination, and when they go for the online certification examination, PMI suggests that you need to take a break, maybe 2 breaks. So that is the point why I bring in the exam duration and the breaks in this particular slide. So there would not be any break, and it would be a straight 180 minutes long examination. So you need to have a patience of sitting there for 180 minutes, almost like three hours, and you would be going through 150 questions. That was all about it. There is one caveat that I would want to mention here. Out of 150 questions, there would be 15 pre-test questions. So 15 pre-test questions, as in out of 150 questions, 15 questions, you would not be evaluated based on those 15 questions. Now, you would not be in a position to understand what are those 15 questions. So my first tip here would be, if you are seriously wanting to gain the CAPM certification, so I would suggest that you attempt all 150 questions, regardless of if you are, finding out what are the 15 pre-test questions. Even if I skip those questions, I would not be evaluated. I would say that you attempt all 150 questions. So that was all about the exam duration. Then what are the different types of questions that you'd be asked in the Capm certification examination? There is just one type, which would be multiple choice questions. MCQs, you must have heard of MCQs all the time. There are so many questions. There are so many psychometric tests, which conduct the examinations in this multiple choice questions format. So this is just one format. The reason is PMP have introduced almost like 4 to 5 types of questions. So that was the main reason why I put in the types of questions slide in here. Now I'll be talking about the preparation strategy. But before I get into the preparation strategy of the Capm, there is one point I would like to mention here is this. The Capm certification examination is purely knowledge information based, unlike PMP certification examination. PMP certification examination is entirely based on experiential knowledge, but CAPM is not. CAPM is totally based on information provided in the PMBOK guide. We'll be talking about the PMBOK guide later, but just to give you a bit of it, since we are here. Now that was all about the Capm's examination. Now let me talk about the preparation strategy. In the preparation strategy part, I would say that I would divide the preparation strategy in 3 different phases. One would be, or the first one would be the pre-prep course phase. The second would be the prep course phase, and the third would be post-prep course phase. The first 2 phases, that is pre-prep course and the prep course phase, this will actually create a kind of a groundwork for you to prepare for the Capm certification examination. The major thrust would be on the post-prep course that we'll be talking about later in this webinar. All right, so that was all about the preparation strategy. Now there is one thing, since I have a lot many certifications in my kitty, so I know there is one thing which is very important for us to go for the certification, and that is how we prepare for the certifications. What is our mindset while preparing for the certifications? And that is the motivation of keeping this particular slide in this webinar. We need to be very positive. We need to be very optimistic about our preparation strategy and how we are going to deal with the certification examination when we sit there and write the certification examination. So there is just 2 points that I would like to mention here in this preparation mindset. One is CAPM exam is pretty easy. Pretty easy in the sense it will just test your knowledge. It will just test your knowledge based out of PMBOK guide. So it is something like if you are coming from science background or arts background or commerce background, and if you have gone through, if you have read one of your books or one of your subject books, it would be something like that they would be asking you the questions based on the books, and it would not be based on the experience that a project manager has to go through while executing the project. So exam is easy, that is for sure. And the second thing is, when you are preparing for the PMI-based certifications, it is advisable that you wear the PMI hat. What does that mean? That means the reference books or the reference material which this PMI people have prescribed for any kind of a certification examination, they would want you to stick to that particular reference books. They would say that it is not mandatory to just refer to those reference material, but in my experience, it would be better if we stick to the literature or the material provided by the PMI. So that is the reason why we say that when you are preparing for any certifications coming from PMI, it would be better if you wear the PMI hat. So that was all about the preparation mindset. All right, let me move on to the first phase of the preparation strategy, which is pre-prep course. Now, the pre-prep course is kind of a foundation phase for you guys to prepare for the Capm certification examination. So what are you talking about? When we talk about the certifications provided by PMI, the PMI people have a very unique way of creating a framework of all the examinations, all the certification examinations. And they call it as examination content outline, which is ECO. If you could see on the slide, the title of the slide says understand the ECO or ECO. So ECO stands for examination content outline. And this is the framework which PMI follows for all the certification examinations which they provide. So the ECO is considered as the blueprint for the Capm examination. For that matter, the PGMP, if you're writing the PMP, or if you're writing the PFMP, or any of the certifications coming from the PMI, then they will provide an ECO for that particular certification examination. So this is a kind of a foundation for preparing for the Capm certification examination, and it is considered as a blueprint. Second of all, the PMI revises the ECO every 3 to 5 years, and there is a reason behind it. The reason is very simple. In this VUCA world, VUCA stands for volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. In this VUCA world, the roles and the responsibilities of people working in any domain, they change rapidly. So keeping the pace with the changes in the roles and the responsibilities of the project manager, the PMI people or PMI revises the ECO every 3 to 5 years, just to keep pace with the environment or with the roles and responsibilities of the project managers. So that is the reason why they change the ECO all the time. And good thing about the ECO is it is freely available on the PMI website. If you go to pmi.org and if you click on the certifications, if you click on the Certified Associate in Project Management Certification drop-down list, and if you click on that, you would be if you scroll down, you would be taken to the link where you can download the ECO, which is the ECO. And why do we need this as the pre-prep course? It is very simple. Like I said, all the PMI-based certifications based on ECO. So if we are preparing for Certified Associate in Project Management Certification examination, so it will be better if we understand and if you know the ECO, that is examination content outline. It will give us the framework for the examination. This is the very simple understanding of the ECO. So this is the screenshot of the ECO page, the first page which I've taken from the website. Now in the ECO, they provide the learning objectives. The learning objectives as in, they tell us that what are the different things that you will be learning from the ECO. So in the ECO of CAPM, they have provided 13 learning objectives. So all these 13 learning objectives are based on the 13 chapters of PMBOK Guide 6th edition. I keep coming back to PMBOK Guide 6th edition. The reason is this. The reference book for Capm is PMBOK Guide 6th edition at this point in time. Last year, PMI released PMBOK Guide 7th edition. However, so far, they have not updated anything on their website if the reference material or reference book for Capm certification examinations changed to PMBOK Guide 7th edition. So at this point in time, when I'm talking to you, it is PMBOK Guide 6th edition. Now coming back to the learning objectives. So there are 13 chapters in PMBOK Guide 6 editions, and those 13 chapters have been extracted and made the learning objectives for Capm Echo. So we have introduction to project management, we have project environment, we have role of the project manager. Role of the project manager in PMBOK Guide 5th edition, there was just one paragraph or two paragraphs of a role of a project manager. But in PMBOK Guide 6th edition, they made sure that the entire chapter is dedicated to the role of the project manager. So that is one thing. Seeing that below the learning objectives, I have mentioned some 4 tasks for introduction to project management and 6% weightage. So what does that mean? So like I mentioned, there are 180 questions of Capm certifications. Out of those 180 questions, 6% of those questions would be coming from the first learning objective, which is introduction to project management. Approximately 11 questions will be coming from introduction to the project management learning objectives. And there are 4 tasks which are associated with this learning objective. So when you join the Capm prep course, the training institute, or if you care to join Tech Canvas, we would be taking you through all the 4 tasks of introduction to project management. What are the different tasks that you will be learning in order to understand the Capm certifications in general and project management in specifics. So we have introduction to project management, then we have project management environment, then we have role of the project manager. Then we'll be talking about all the project management knowledge areas which are mentioned in the PMBOK Guide 6th edition. The first one is the project integration management, then we'll be talking about the scope management, then schedule management, then cost management, then quality management, and then resource management. And then there are 4 more: communications, risk management, procurement, and the last but not the least, but very important one, is the stakeholder management. So these are all 13 learning objectives, and it will be covered in your prep course, which would last for 23 contact hours. So that was all about the learning objectives. Now let me move on to the PMI membership. During the first section of this webinar, I told you about the examination fees for Capm certifications at PMI is $225 or USD for the PMI members. So this is one of the benefits out of becoming the member of the PMI. So, this is the very subtle line which we have mentioned here, that if you are serious about the exam, you would need it anyway. There are a plethora of benefits which come with taking the membership from PMI. Not only get a discount on exam, you also get access to various resources. Forget about the discount of the exam. What you get is the resources, a plethora of resources which are available on the PMI membership access. So you would get agile practice guide, you would get the practice guide of schedule management, you will get practice guide for cost management, you will get practice guide for earned value management. Maybe some of the terms would be like Latin and Greek to you, but once you go through the PMBOK guide, once you go through the prep course, it would be like a piece of cake for you to understand what I'm talking about right now at this point in time. But that doesn't matter. I mean, it is not necessary for you to, at this point in time, to understand the practice guide that I'm talking about. The only practice guide that you would be caring about at this point in time is the Agile practice guide, which comes as a free download with PMI membership. Of course, you get a soft copy of PMBOK guide, because almost 700, 800 pages guide, and there is a 200, 300 pages Agile practice guide that you get. Apart from that, there is a site which is called as projectmanagement.com, which is owned by PMI. It's a single sign-on. So once you become a PMI member, you would be networking with so many people across the world. Some of them would be PMI members, some of them were PMI members, and they all provide what is happening in the project management domain across the globe. So this is one of the other major benefits of becoming the PMI member. So it would be advisable if you are really wanted to get into the Capm certifications. I would suggest that you take the membership, PMI membership. Now let's move on. All right. So let's say we are still in the pre-prep course, and you are trying to, you have downloaded the echo, you have gone through it, the first scan, you have gone through it, then you have taken the PMI membership now, and since you are eligible to download the PMBOK guide, you have already downloaded the PMBOK guide. Now, at this point in time, I would suggest that you skip through the pages of PMBOK guide, try to understand the structure and the framework of the PMBOK guide. And I would want to be blunt at this point in time because I have gone through that experience. When I read the PMBOK guide for the very first time, it was bouncer to me. I did not understand a bit of it. However, the second reading and the third reading, I got the feel of what that PMBOK guide is all about. So since we are still in the pre-prep course, so I would suggest that you scan through the diagrams, the tables, the processes which are mentioned in the PMBOK guide, and move on. At this point in time, there is no need to stress much about understanding the PMBOK guide. Like I said, it is currently in the 6th version. You will be able to download the Agile Practice Guide also, and it is the major reference guide for your Capm examination. So that was all about the PMBOK guide. This is already I've covered. It's more like a redundant information that is kept there. So this is how the PMBOK guide looks like when you download. There is one more thing. When you download the PMBOK guide from the website, when I downloaded it, I got the Agile Practice Guide and PMBOK guide as a combined book. However, I guess they have changed it. They have separated the Agile Practice Guide from the PMBOK guide now. All right. So that was all the pre-prep course of the Capm certification examination. It was all about creating the groundwork of you preparing for the Capm. And now let's talk about the prep course. Okay, there is one thing. Before talking about the prep course, let me tell you one more thing. When you are in the pre-prep course phase, I would suggest, or I would advise you to find out the institute which are providing you the 23 contact hours, which is one of the eligibility criteria for appearing for the Capm examination. Take Canvas provides the 23 contact hours, and we have created a very specific course structure, keeping the experience level of the people who will be coming for the Capm certifications, and keeping the content of the Capm certification examination. So I was one of the persons who have actually created the course based on the ECHO, based on the PMBOK Guide 6th edition, and we have so many other materials that we have scanned through or combed through. So that is one thing. But at the same time, since I'm coming from the Tech Canvas, I would really appreciate if you could join the Tech Canvas. That is just the part. Now let me go back to the prep course. Now the prep course is the 23 contact hours training workshop. This training workshop, it will tell you, or it will give you the idea of the structure of the PMBOK guide. That is one. What are the different process groups which are part of the PMBOK guide? There are 5 process groups. What are the different project management knowledge area? There are 10 project management knowledge areas. They'll tell you what are the different 49 processes which are part of the PMBOK guide 6th edition, and how these 49 processes interlinked or intertwined with one another. There is a reason of you undergoing this 23 contact hours training. When the trainer provides you the 23 contact hours, he will start, or she will start with the basic structure of the PMBOK guide, and they will help you understand how the processes interact with one another. What are the different inputs of one process becomes the output, and what are the outputs of one process becomes the inputs of another process. What are the different tools and techniques that you'll be using? And since I says Capm is just a knowledge-based, information-based examination, so what you need to do is you need to memorize, you need to recall the things that are available in the PMBOK guide. So this is the simple aim or motivation of why you need to undergo the 23 contact hours and why PMI people insist in having the individuals going through this 23 contact hours. That is the formal project management education. So like I said, it is groundwork and it will help you connect the examination content outline with the PMBOK guide. Now, since there are 13 objectives, learning objectives of ECHO, and there are 49 processes given in the PMBOK guide, which are part of chapter number 4 to chapter number 13. However, there are 3 more chapters, chapter number 1, 2, and 3, which do not have any kind of processes associated with them. So, how to connect the dots of the prep course of the examination content outline with the PMBOK guide? So, this course would help you map the ECHO with the PMBOK guide. There is one thing which mostly when we follow the student syndrome, we don't follow the trick that once the day is done or is finished, we kind of keep the book as next day without referring to the content that we have been taught about. So my suggestion or my advice here would be whatever has been learned in the day or during these contact hours, I would suggest that if you just summarize, if you just revise, if you just scan through what have been done, it would be really help you in understanding the PMBOK guide. And at the same time, you make the most of the instructor's time in the 23 hours. So it would be better if you ask many questions, like they say, and I completely subscribe to the saying that there is no stupid questions. So if you ask many questions to the instructor during this 23 contact hours, it would help you immensely in understanding the project management as provided by the PMI or PMBOK guide 6th edition. It would really help you. Most of us are really hesitant in asking questions to the instructor. But if you could grab the opportunity and ask questions to the instructor during these 23 contact hours, it would really help you. All right, this was all about the prep course. However, we are just spending 23 contact hours here, and I am just spending one slide on describing the prep course. But this is the framework. This is the not even blueprint. This is the groundwork that has been done to prepare you for the Capm certification examination. And some of the institutes they follow weekend classes for these 23 contact hours. So it is possible considering the environment at this point in time, it is possible that the Capm, this prep course would spread over 3 weeks, or sometimes it would stretch to 4 weeks. But that is okay. That is depending. Just keep that in mind while preparing for the Capm certification examination. There is one thing. So when you factor in these 23 contact hours for Capm certification, you just need to make sure that you have already decided when you want to appear for the Capm examination, and then you can just reverse work it. So, and you need to find out where you want to go through this contact hours, because unless you have these 23 contact hours available with you, the PMI people would not let you submit the application, which I'll be talking about later. All right, so that was all about the prep course. In the prep course, we'll be talking about the 3 skill sets as described by the PMI, which is called as the PMI's talent triangle. We'll be talking about the technical project management, we'll be talking about the strategic and business management, and then we'll be talking about the leadership skills, which are required by a project manager. So it is almost like a complete package for you to understand the project management domain. That was all about the prep course, and let's talk about the post-prep course. It would be like a very, there will be many slides. However, the slides are kind of a self-explanatory, so it will be easier for us to understand. So here, what we are going to do is we are going to map the prep manual. When I talk about the prep manual, is the manual that they can also be providing to you while you undergo the 23 contact hours. So that is the prep manual. It is more like a summarized version of the PMBOK guide 6th edition. So like I said, there are 600 pages which are available in the PMBOK guide 6th edition, and it is highly impossible to bring in all the content of the PMBOK Guide 6th edition in this 23 contact hours. So what we did was we kind of extracted the most important thing, which would be necessary to pass the Capm certification examination. So that is what you need to map the instructor manuals with the PMBOK Guide 6th edition. Then we have created a lot many test questions based on each chapter. Then we have at least we have 3 mock tests, complete full length tests, which are available in our learning management system. So that would also help you understand the nitty-gritties of the Capm certification examination. Again, this is the same thing. Like I said, reading the PMBOK guide first time would be like Latin to grade. If reading the PMBOK guide second time after you have gone through the prep course, it would make some kind of a sense. When you read it 3 times or the 3rd time or the 4th time, then you would be in a better position to understand what is exactly happening in the project management domain as defined in the PMBOK guide. Now there is one more thing. When I'm talking about the PMBOK guide 6th edition, it is a kind of a guideline. PMI people do not say that this is the the prescribed format that you need to follow while executing the projects. No, they don't do that. What they say, this is the guideline that you need to follow, and change the guideline depending on the projects that you are working in, depending on the organization that you work in. So read the guide thoroughly, then split the total number of chapters. So we have 13 chapters in PMBOK Guide 6th edition. My strategy was I used to spend almost like 2 to 3 days. I spent like 2 to 3 days in going through chapter number 1, and then again 2 to 3 days in chapter number 2. So just to understand what is happening in the chapter. So that was my first read. From the 3rd read onwards, I mean, it used to take just 40-45 minutes to go through the chapters. It was as simple as that. Then again, connect the content with ECHO and PMBOK Guide 6th edition. This is a redundant information. I'm sorry about that. And then practice the exercises at the end of the chapter. Our LMS provides the practice exercises after each chapter, after each learning objectives that we talked about in the. So you would be understanding what are the different questions or what kind of different questions would be asked in the PMBOK Guide, in the Capm examination. Now, when I talk about the information-based and knowledge-based examination, this Capm is all about. So if you get some time, go to PMI site, find out the type of questions they asked for CPM. You will get a fair understanding of the questions that would be asked for Capm. So this is the prep book again. So like I said, this is the post prep phase. So what we need to do here is we just have to revisit and repeat what we have done in the past couple of phases. So practice this at the end of the chapter, note down the scores, make sure you understand all the answers, rights and wrongs, repeat until you score about 95%. Okay, let me go back to the previous slide. Now this, the 3rd point, make sure you understand all the answers, rights or wrongs. This is very important. Now why it is very important? There are different practices which have been followed in different industries and different organizations. And there would always be a gap of one of the knowledge areas that you guys would be executing in your organization and the content which are provided in the PMBOK Guide 6th edition by PMI. So if there is a gap, then you need to make sure that you eliminate that gap. So you're right, and your questions would be based, or I'm sorry for that. The question would be evaluated on the content which is provided in PMBOK Guide 6th edition. So it is very important that you understand why that question was right when you attempted it and why that question was wrong when you attempted it. It is very, very important. Even if you go to any question banks which are available in online, if you Google search it, there also, if they do not provide you the answers for your wrong, the answers for your right answer, then I think it is surely a waste of time. I would suggest you do not take it. Mock exams, like I mentioned, that our LMS has 3 full mock exams. There are so many questions which are available in our LMS. Apart from this mock exams, I myself have created crosswords for the Capm examinations, and these crosswords are a really easy and fun way to understand the different concepts of project management per se. I'm not talking about the PMBOK Guide 6th edition, but project management per se. Like I mentioned, this is understand why when your answers were wrong. Since last couple of slides, there are one point which kind of came up very frequently. One is that if you score more than 80% in all your learning objectives exercises, and if you score more than 95% in your mock test, I think you are good to go to take the Capm certification examination. So that was the gist of what of the previous two slides. Now let's talk about tips and the examination. I'll quickly scan through what are the different tips. I have already told you a lot many tips so far. So keeping in mind the exam is based on ECHO, which I've already talked about. Focus equally on agile and predictive models. There is one misconception about the PMBOK Guide 6th edition is that PMBOK Guide 6th edition is talking about the predictive models or the waterfall model. It is not. PMBOK Guide 6th edition is equally well balanced with the agile practices and predictive models also. So there are literatures or there are contents which are available in the PMBOK Guide which are also focusing on the agile models also. Follow the PMBOK Guide 6th edition. It would be better if you apply for the exam at the earlier stage so that you do not get the surprise at the later stage. We'll talk about the surprises later. Schedule you can work reverse from that, which I already talked about. Attempt all questions. This is very important. So out of 150 questions, even if you feel that you do not understand or you do not know the answer to the questions, take a guess and hit it, because there would not be any negative markings for the wrong answers. But if you do not attempt that question, it will be treated as a wrong answer. So it would be better if you attempt all questions, all 150 questions. Tips prep book. I already talked about the prep book. So this is the prep book that we'll be providing to you. It will be more like a mind maps. It will be more like a flow diagrams that would really help you go through the content of the PMBOK Guide 6th edition faster, quicker. I have myself created the mind maps for passing the PMP certification examination, and that really helped me. Like I said, we have practice question banks, a lot of them. The questions are based on the ECHO and the PMBOK Guide 6th edition. We talked about the right and wrong answer and what to do with on the D exam, on the D day. So at this point in time, during the pandemic, PMI people, they have given us the flexibility to take the examinations from home. So it is up to you. It is your choice if you really want to take the examination from home, or if you want to go to the exam center and take the examination. My take here would be if the country you are living in, or if the state you are living in, if it is allowed to go to the exam center and take the exam, then I would suggest that you go to the exam center. It is really helpful. There are different issues or there are different concerns coming while which I mentioned here. Consider the power cuts or the network problem at home. And sometimes examination is good to perform. And when you go to the exam center, it will actually create that aura to pass the examination and write the examinations. So that was all about the D-Day examination. Now let me talk about the application for the Capm certification examination. There is a reason behind keeping this topic here. I could have very well taken this topic in the about the exam content. However, there is a reason behind this. The reason is very simple. Assuming that you have gone through the pre-prep course, then you have completed the prep course, and then you have spent almost like 2 or 3 weeks in understanding and going through the PMBOK Guide 6th edition, so you're ready now. So that is the motivation of keeping the application part here of Capm. So the application here is you can actually go to the URL of PMI. You can start writing the application. You can, since I suggested that you become the PMI member. So once you become the PMI member, it will be easier for you to submit your application for Capm certifications. Then once you have initiated the certification application, it takes out almost like, the PMI people give 90 days to submit the application. It usually takes around 5 days for the PMI to review the application, and then they'll ask you to schedule the examination. There is one catch here. If you're selected for an audit, it's a kind of they select the applications randomly for audit. So if you're selected for audit, you'll be given 90 days to submit the necessary documentation. So when they do the audit of different people, they are actually looking for they are actually looking for to verify the credentials that you have provided in. So for example, if you have submitted that you hold a degree and you have completed the 23 contact us, then submit those documents so that they just verify it. And the good thing about this is, unless the audit process is over, they would not ask you to pay and schedule the examination. That is the good part about it. So you keep this academic education, professional education ready, keep the 23 contact hours ready. All this stuff is easy for you. I talked about the audit exam schedule. So you can schedule the examination based on the information that you have provided while submitting the application. You should be able to find the scheduled exam after you pay your fees. Then PMI has kind of collaborated with Pearson VUE, and you can just find the centers which are available for taking this Capm certificate examination in your city. As far as I understand, since I live in Mumbai, so there is a center in Mumbai, in Malad. So that is a good thing. I'm not sure if it is available in Pune or Hyderabad or Delhi. It should be there. But in most of the cities across the world, the Pearson VUE Center is available for PMI certification examination. And find the test center. And if you're taking it from home, you just make sure that you have this the laptop or the system that you will be taking the test from is configured with the requirements provided by the PMI. Then log in 30 minutes before the examination. The proctor would verify you. The proctor, as in it would be a proctored, monitored examination. When you sit in front of your laptop, they would ask you to switch on your camera. They would ask you to, do not look here and there. They would even ask you to look straight blankly on the camera. So many things. There are so many regulations that they will tell you to conduct when you take the examination from home. So that was all about the examination. Like I said, we at Capm provide the PEP course, which is the 50 contact us. So I would suggest that you take this opportunity. And if you are really interested, you can contact Brijesh, who is available in this webinar. So guys, that was all about the preparation strategy. We are starting our new batch from 12th of February, and the second batch will be starting from 12th of March. So if any one of you are interested in joining the training course, please get in touch with Brijesh. The details are provided here. Let me move on to the questions now. So if you have any questions, just unmute your mic and shoot it. I would really appreciate that.
Hi, sir. Very good evening.
Yeah, and I would really appreciate if you could tell me your name, so it would be easier for me to address you.
Hi, good evening. This is Tej from Chandigarh. My question is that, do we get a practical knowledge of Scrum also and the Agile also if we go through this?
Yeah, very good question, Tej. Like I said, that one of my colleagues and I have created this particular module. So we made sure that the entire module is given on Agile. So you would be going through one of the Agile module. And like I said, we'll be talking about the Scrum. Yes, we'll be talking about.
And are we supposed to get any real life project? Like if I get into this, do we get any real life project wherein I'll be handling individually that project?
No. We'll be taking you through the case studies, but we would not be in a position to give you the real life projects. This would be not our domain. Because if you're working in an organization, then it would be the organization's job to give you the project. But for us, we can take you through different case studies, which will help you understand how.
My question is very simple. Is that sorry to interrupt you, but I belong to a banking domain wherein I'm handling a digital projects in banking domain. So if I move into any IT or any other domain in the project management only, do I get any kind of practical knowledge in this? For any other sector,
you will definitely get practical knowledge about that. Like I said, there would be case studies which would be available in our prep course, and those case studies would be real life case studies. It is not something which is coming out of thin air. It is the case studies that would really help you understand. If you want us to tell you about the case studies coming from an IT or software industry or software company, we can pull it out. That is not a problem at all.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Tej.
You're welcome, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
You can even write your questions in the chat board also, if you have.
Brijesh, I guess there aren't any questions.
Yes, Rakesh. All right, then I guess we are good. Okay, so if you have any questions later, so you can always reach out to us. We have already provided the contacts in the slide here, and you can always reach out to us through the website also. Okay, so we have a batch starting from 12th of February. So just in case if somebody is interested, so you can contact us by 11th also for this. Okay, so I guess we are good now, Rakesh. Thanks, everyone.
Okay, thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for your time. It was really wonderful talking to you and the information you have provided, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys. You take care. Have a great day ahead or tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
All right.
This conference is no longer being recorded.